I used to think social media was harmless. An endless scroll of brunch photos, couple selfies, vacation snaps, and boomerangs of champagne toasts. Just a curated gallery of filter happiness. But that was before I learned how social media could also become a silent investigator, a digital bloodhound trailing breadcrumbs no one meant to leave behind. My name is Elise Grant. I'm 32 years old, a graphic designer from Austin, Texas, and until last fall, I thought I was in a stable, loving relationship with the man I planned to marry. His name? Jason Carter. He was a 36-year-old tech consultant. Smart, charming, and with just enough mystery to keep things interesting. We'd been together for 4 years. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in South Austin, had a shared dog named Cooper, and we even had a joint Spotify playlist called Forever Vibes. Yeah, that aged well. It wasn't a text message. It wasn't lipstick on a collar. It wasn't even a late-night phone call. It was Instagram, specifically the Suggested For You tab. It started on a regular Thursday. I was on my lunch break at the office, mindlessly scrolling through Instagram when I noticed a photo in the suggested section. A woman sitting in what looked eerily familiar, a rooftop bar adjacent, and I had just visited the weekend before. But it wasn't a location that made my stomach tighten. It was the man sitting next to her. He was half out of frame, but I'd know that forest green jacket anywhere. It was Jason's favorite, a gift I'd given him on his birthday last year. At first, I told myself it was just a coincidence. Lots of guys wear green jackets. But something made me click on her profile. Her name was Lena Harrow, a boutique owner from Dallas. Blonde, glamorous, and the kind of effortlessly curated influencer aesthetic that made you wonder if her life actually was that perfect. Her profile was public, and what I saw chilled me. There were more photos, some of them in the background, some with his reflection in sunglasses, and a few, once I really started looking, had his hand, his watch, his damn shoes in them. But what shattered me was a story highlight labeled, Sparkles of Sparkles. Inside were clips of dinners, hikes, and a weekend getaway to a cabin in Colorado. He wasn't any of them fully, never tagged, never named, but he was there. His laugh, his voice, his stupid catchphrases, all unmistakable. The dates? They overlapped with the times he told me he was traveling for work. I spent the next 72 hours down a digital rabbit hole. I became someone else entirely. Part detective, part stalker, part shattered woman trying to glue her world back together. I cross-referenced her posts with his travel receipts, flight confirmations, and calendar invites. I dug through her comments, found mutuals, and even stumbled across a TikTok of them in the background of a crowd shot at ACL Fest. Every clue was like a pin to the heart. He hadn't just cheated. He'd built a second life. The way Lena captioned her posts, "Miss him already red heart," and "lucky girl face blowing a kiss," made it clear this wasn't a fling. This was a full-blown emotional affair. And judging by the length of time her post spanned, it had been going on for at least 8 months. 8 months! While I was booking us an anniversary trip, he was working late in Dallas. I didn't explode. I didn't scream. Instead, I did something more terrifying. I waited. I wanted to look him in the eye and see if he'd lie again. I wanted to know who this man really was. That Sunday, I made his favorite breakfast. I let him kiss me on the forehead. I played my role while his secret tangled like barbed wire in my chest. Then, calmly, over coffee, I asked, "Who's Lena?" The way his face dropped, the blood drained from it like a faucet. He tried to deny it. Of course. Said she was just a client, a friend, that the photos were misleading. He accused me of snooping. Gaslit me like I was paranoid. That's when I pulled out the printed screenshots. The ones with his watch, his voice in the background, his arm around her waist in a mirror shot she clearly didn't mean to post. His silence confirmed everything. I kicked him out that night. He begged. He cried. Said he'd end it. That I was the one he loved. He blamed stress, long-distance work trips. And even me. Said I was emotionally unavailable during the pandemic. The audacity. I blocked him on every platform. Deleted our playlists. Removed every couple photo. Told our mutual friends. Returned his things in a box labeled, "Thanks for the lies, but What haunted me most wasn't just a betrayal. It was how easily he managed to live two lives, and how social media, ironically, was the only thing honest enough to expose it. If Lena hadn't posted, if Instagram's algorithm hadn't nudged her into my feed, if I hadn't clicked, I'd still be planning a future with a liar. It's been 10 months. Since then, I've poured my grief into art. My Instagram now isn't just filtered brunches. It's illustrations, raw captions, digital storytelling. I started a series called Red Flags, cartoons and stories from women who found the truth through digital footprints. It went viral. Lena, by the way, she reached out to me 3 months after. Turns out, she had no idea about me. She'd been told I was his ex, the crazy one who couldn't move on. We FaceTimed, cried, shared stories. Jason had told her he was single, that he'd moved on, that I couldn't let go. Lena dumped him too, publicly. She posted a photo of a trash can on fire with the caption, "Some things belong exactly where they came from." It got over 80,000 likes. Betrayal breaks something inside you, but also awakens something. The version of yourself that refuses to be blind again, the part that sees through charm and convenience. I don't regret loving Jason. I regret trusting him blindly. And I don't think I'll ever look at social media the same way again, because it wasn't a friend, a PI, or a slip-up that exposed him. It was a digital footprint, a tiny, casual photo meant to show off a good night. Instead, it showed me the truth. Now, every time I post, I do it with intention. Not to prove I'm okay, but to share that you can survive betrayal, that you will rebuild. That truth has a way of revealing itself. One post, one breadcrumb, one footprint at a time. And if you're reading this wondering if the gut feeling in your chest is real, trust it. Open that app. Zoom in on that photo. Click the tag. The truth is always there, just waiting to be seen. It took months to stop waking up in the middle of the night with his voice echoing in my head. Healing isn't linear. Some days I felt powerful, others I felt pathetic. But slowly, I started to reclaim the parts of me he tried to fracture. I traveled alone for the first time, Santa Fe, then Portland. I read books without pretending to like his favorite authors. I drank wine I actually enjoyed. I laughed louder. I cried when I needed to. And I stopped dimming my light to make someone else comfortable. Jason texted once on my birthday. "I miss you. I hope you're okay." I didn't respond. Not because I was being strong. Because I no longer needed closure from a liar. The last piece I posted to my Red Flags series was titled The Lesson. It was a simple sketch. A woman planting a tree in the spot where a fire had scorched the ground. The caption read, "He buried his lies in silence, but forgot that truth always grows roots. And from those ashes, I found something better myself. I don't need revenge anymore. I don't need answers. And I definitely don't need Jason. I have peace. I have my voice. And now, I have a story that might help someone else spot the red flags before it's too late. Because in the end, the same digital world that tore me apart helped me rebuild.